My name is Jazz Leaf from the account Recipes for Health. I'm a nutritional therapist, I'm a private chef to professional athletes, and I love cooking healthy food. So if you're new here, thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys stay and I hope you guys subscribe if you do enjoy my content. Today, we're talking thick and creamy smoothie bowls. However, here's the thing. Whenever we find recipes for smoothie bowls, typically they contain tons of fruit, right? I really love fruit, don't get me wrong. But there's a way that we can add vegetables into our smoothie bowls to make them the same consistency. Stay tuned for 5 low sugar veggie substitutes for bananas to make the creamiest and thickest smoothie bowls. Let's do this.
First up is cauliflower. Cauliflower is an insoluble fiber, which means that it promotes the movement of material through the digestive system and it kind of increases stool. I start by removing the stem and then cutting the cauliflower into smaller size florets, and that way it's easier to blend. I will then rinse the cauliflower and then transfer it into a steamer basket and steam it for about 5 to 10 minutes just until the cauliflower is cooked through. If you don't have a steamer basket, you can also just throw it into hot water and just boil it for a few moments. I then transfer it onto a paper towel just to drain any excess liquid, and then it's always fun to do a quick little dance before you transfer it onto a parchment paper lined baking sheet, and I just like to make sure that they're not touching and they're all in a single layer. Now we transfer it over into our freezer for a few hours just to freeze. A few hours later, you can transfer them into a Tupperware or any sort of freezer container, and I like to line it with parchment paper in between each layer, and that way they're ready to go and they're not stuck together. The second secret ingredient is sweet potato. So we'll take our sweet potato and we'll chop it into just some smaller slices. It doesn't have to be perfect, that's just so they cook a little bit faster. Transfer it into a small pot, put some water on top of it, and then boil it just for about 5 to 10 minutes until they're cooked through. Sweet potato has a ton of vitamin A, which is great for our skin, inside and out. It's also a fantastic antioxidant and an immune booster. Now that they're cooked through, you just do the same thing with this one. Transfer it onto a parchment paper lined baking sheet, freeze it for a few hours, and then you take them out of the freezer and you store them in a freezer bag or a Tupperware. I actually lost the footage of me freezing them in the first place, so just refer to the cauliflower one. I did the same exact thing. Next up is zucchini. This is one of my favorite ingredients. You'll wash a zucchini and then chop it up into small bite-sized pieces, transfer it into a steamer basket, and steam for about 5 to 10 minutes just until they're cooked through. Zucchini is high in vitamin C, which strengthens the immune system and also helps fight infections. It's also a really powerful antioxidant. Transfer it onto a towel and then transfer it onto a parchment paper lined baking sheet, again in a single layer. Throw these in the freezer for a few hours and then we'll check back up on them. They are frozen and ready to be stored in a container. Zucchini works really well in pretty much any sort of smoothie. Next up is coconut cream. It's a canned product, so for this one we'll use an ice cube tray. I honestly just found this one at the Dollar Tree and it works perfectly. So you'll take the coconut and you'll just pour it into the ice cube tray evenly. Coconut contains potassium, which actually enables nutrients to move into your body and then waste to move out of the cells. So you'll throw this into the freezer for a few hours to set. Once they're set, as you notice here, I just take it, flip it upside down, and just smack it a few times on the counter. It all comes out into cubes, and you can store them in a container in the freezer. Last but not least, an avocado. This one's huge. It's actually local to Florida, and I really have no idea why I cut it like this. I really don't understand what I was thinking. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. It's beautiful. It's huge. And now, because of that initial cut, I had to cut it super weird. Don't judge me. I have no idea what I was doing. But essentially, you'll just take your avocado and you'll slice it into small pieces, throw it on a parchment paper lined baking sheet, freeze it for a few hours, and then transfer it into your container. Again, you store that in the fridge for any smoothie.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed the content of this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that I can keep producing videos like this for you guys. Follow me on social and I will be back with the next video soon. Bye!